The Grand Army of the Republic's clone troopers wore some of the coolest looking armor in all of science fiction. Different specialized units wore specialized armor like commandos and ARC troopers, while different units found a common color to represent their brotherhood. But there is one clone trooper whose armor stands out from the rest as the most customized set in the entire Grand Army of the Republic. He is, of course, the legend himself, Captain Rex, the most famous clone trooper. So, let's talk about his one-of-a-kind armor. This is why Captain Rex had the most unique clone trooper armor. Phase 1 versus Phase 2. Before we can really dive into Rex's armor, we're going to need a base-level understanding of the two main suits of clone trooper armor, those, of course, being Phase 1 and Phase 2. We actually have a dedicated, in-depth video on this topic already on the channel, but here's a quick summary. Phase 1 Clone Trooper armor was designed by Kaminoan armorsmiths with some input from Jango Fett. As a result, it loosely resembled Mandalorian armor, specifically with the helmet's T-shaped visor. It also notably featured a fin-like antenna on top, which housed a comlink. The entire armor kit consisted of 20 form-fitting plates, made of a lightweight plastoid alloy composite. Those plates were sealed to a black temperature control bodysuit, which protected from the extreme heat and cold. The suit was also pressurized, offering temporary protection from the vacuum of space. So, why replace Phase 1? The Phase 1 Clone Trooper armor was said to be heavy, uncomfortable, and not very well liked by clone troopers. It was said to be particularly uncomfortable when sitting. This inconvenience was supposedly due to the Kaminoans' lack of knowledge when it came to human ergonomics. When it was introduced in the latter half of the Clone Wars, Phase 2 quickly spread through the ranks of the Grand Army of the Republic and was adopted by nearly all clones. Phase 2 armor was a vast improvement to the Phase 1, with lighter plating that was much more comfortable for the clones to wear and move around in. Phase 2 armor's many improvements came from feedback directly from the clone troopers themselves. Behind the scenes, Phase 2 armor was meant to act as a fusion between the Phase 1 clone trooper and Imperial Stormtroopers armor, representing how much closer we were getting to the rise of the Empire and eventually the original trilogy. Just as the 3 years of war have brought the Republic to the brink of becoming the Empire, the clone troopers look even more like their Stormtrooper successors. Have you ever wanted to get an autograph from your favorite Star Wars actor, but it's hard to make it to a convention? I'm excited to tell you how you can get one from the comfort of your own home with our new partner, Streamily. With Streamily, you can choose any product to get signed by your favorite Star Wars actors and characters, watch the talent sign it live on camera, and have the personalized item sent right to your door. With May being the official Star Wars month, there are signings going on just about every day. I'm so excited that I went ahead and ordered an autograph from Ray Park's livestream on May 29th. That's right, Darth Maul himself. I'll show you guys in a future video once it arrives. If you're also interested in an autograph from Ray Park or numerous other Star Wars actors available, head over to Streamily. The link is at the top of the video description and pinned comment. Back to the video. Rex's Hybrid. With that context, let's take a look at Rex's hybrid armor. Instead of making the switch to Phase 2 like his brothers did, Rex decided to weld parts of his Phase 1 and Phase 2 kits together. You can actually see the weld marks on his helmet and chest plate. There's some high-quality reference images out there from the Darkness on Umbara concept art gallery that conveniently breaks down the specifics. Let's take a look. Beginning with the helmet, Rex's hybrid featured the classic T-visor of his Phase 1 as a base. The mouth and chin area are similar to the Phase 2, just slightly lowered and modified in order to fit the shape of the Phase 1 T-visor. The chest plate is a little less obvious and has far less context given to it, but is still cool nonetheless. In Rebels, Rex did mention that Gen 1 clone armor was better at absorbing blaster shots in comparison to a Stormtrooper's. After all, he would know, considering his Phase 1 chest plate did save his life after he was sniped off his BARC speeder by a commando droid. As for the backstory and reasoning behind Rex's unique armor, here's Clone Wars creator Dave Filoni's explanation.
Whereas Rex won't give it up.
No.
No.
Rex keeps trying to wear the same armor. He's hybrided his old armor into what you see now, and we thought that'd be kind of a good character trait for Rex to have, is that he's welded his armor. It makes him more unique.
When previewing Clone Wars Season 4 with IGN, Filoni also said, "I create this backstory for D. Bradley Baker, where I was telling him that Rex doesn't believe that the new armor is really that good. He sees it as more prefabricated, where the original armor, you know how classic stuff, the craftsmanship is a little better. So Rex cut his old helmet up, and he welded together parts of the new helmet, and his armor is a hodgepodge of old gear and new gear. So it's kind of like his character. He's like this veteran now, and he's got little kill marks all over his armor. I think Rex is becoming something of a little legend. He's such a long-term survivor of the Clone War, but it was time for a new look." It's also likely that another reason for the change in Rex's armor was to make him look less similar to Fives. By the time Rex got his hybrid armor, Fives was already an ARC trooper and had a relatively similar kit, at least to the untrained eye. The helmet is definitely the aspect that stands out the most. Because Rex most notably kept the Mandalorian-like T-visor, it's safe to assume he probably felt that it offered better visibility on the battlefield. Rex did complain about the Stormtrooper helmet's field of vision when trying to aim in Rebels, after all.
Wow, you really do shoot like a Stormtrooper. Guess I don't have too much to worry about. This helmet! I can't see!
Jag eyes. One of the most distinctive visual features of Rex's armor are the two blue marks on the forehead of his helmet, present on both his Phase 1 and hybrid sets of armor. These are called Jag eyes, which is short for this word on screen that I am not even going to attempt to pronounce. There's a 0% chance I get it right, so I'll spare you. This translated to Shriekhawk eyes in the Mandalorian language of Mandoa. Jag eyes were a Mandalorian sigil bestowed by clan leaders as a mark of honor, awarded for particular acts of bravery. Usually worn upon the helmet, the sigil marked Mandalorian soldiers who had distinguished themselves in battle. When Jango Fett and his fellow Mandalorian military advisors trained the clone troopers, they passed on a number of Mandalorian traditions and customs to Fett's clones, among them the practice of awarding Jag eyes as an award of courage. Other clone troopers to sport Jag eyes on their armor include Commander Blackout and Captain Fordo. Though not a clone trooper, Kanan Jarrus also had Jag eyes on his mask after he was blinded by Darth Maul on Malachor. Behind the scenes, Jag eyes originated in production concept art and early paint explorations by Joe Johnston for the armor that would be worn by Boba Fett in The Empire Strikes Back. Many of Johnston's initial decal designs were abandoned prior to filming, though they would later resurface as sigils adorning the armor of other Mandalorian soldiers and upon personalized suits of clone trooper armor, including Captain Rex's. Tally marks. When Rex switched from his Phase 1 to his hybrid armor, he added another noticeable set of markings. These were a series of tally marks seen on his helmet, hands, arms, and legs. Rex wasn't the only clone to do so, with other notable examples being Waxer of the 212th Attack Battalion and Captain Gregor. We don't officially know what these tally marks represent, but we have a few ideas. In that interview with IGN we referenced earlier, again, Dave Filoni said he's like this veteran now, and he's got little kill marks all over his armor. I think Rex is becoming something of a little legend. He's such a long-term survivor of the Clone War. However, in Rebels, Zeb asked Rex how many droids he took down in the war, to which he responded, "I don't know, thousands, probably tens of thousands, never kept count like some of the boys." This obviously contrasts with Filoni's original idea, and the fact that if Rex did mark every droid kill he had throughout the war, his armor would be completely black with tally marks. Another explanation could be the fact that the tally marks don't represent your average battle droid kill, but high-priority targets or advanced units that Rex eliminated. They could also represent missions or campaigns in which Rex and the 501st were victorious. Another fan theory is that the tally marks didn't represent droids or kills at all, rather that they were a way for Rex to pay tribute to his fallen clone brothers. But of all these ideas, which explanation do you like the best? What do you think of Captain Rex's one-of-a-kind clone trooper armor? Leave your thoughts in the comments. Come join us to chat more at our community Discord server linked in the description. If you enjoyed today's Star Wars video, we've got more on the screen for you right now. Also make sure to drop a like, and if you're new to the channel, hit subscribe to join the Red Squadron. Until next time, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you. Red 5, standing by.